I never let anyone ask me questions like this. I don't know. It's gotta be me. I know how they think, how they move. I'll get them someplace wide open. You come in and light them up.
Okay, I've been pretty much as patient as I can be with this show. I mean, what the hell has happened to Fear the Walking Dead? I mean, is this the culmination of a bunch of crappy writing over the seasons just mixed in between to finally come to a head in this season 7? I mean, we've been more than lenient trying to give these guys a chance to bring this to something. And as my wife put it so elegantly earlier, it's like, this show, it's like, it's trying to go somewhere, yet going nowhere. I mean, it's true. The story is literally going nowhere. I mean, there's no major villain. They've shown us a little piece of this somebody crew who got part of that warhead, and they're like, oh, we can use this to get what we want now. And it's like, okay, we've seen you like, for like maybe a total bit of screen time for like a minute. What does that mean? What does that have to do with anything? And Victor, living in his little high castle type place and kind of bringing in people as he wants. So predictions, here's what's going to be happening going forward. And then we'll go ahead and talk about tonight's episode, which was just god-awful, atrocious. Predictions are something's going to happen to Morgan's facility, and basically hell's going to probably break loose, and Morgan is going to have to come to Victor's rescue more than likely, and Victor's going to have to tuck his head between his legs and pretty much say, oh, I'm sorry and I was so wrong, and so Morgan, you're my buddy, and don't hurt me. And you know, they'll probably duke it out for half a minute, and then I don't know, maybe they kill Victor off, or maybe he gets killed off. And I'm just like, but who cares really in the end? I mean, this show, I guess they must be so desperate for storyline or something to grasp our attention, to make us care two shits about any of these characters. I mean, it's like tonight's episode was a chore, and I mean an absolute chore to sit and watch through this. I mean, I already wasn't digging Althea's story from pretty much last season, which there wasn't a whole lot there anyways. And now we get to come back to Isabel, which, remember, she's the CR chick that she met that didn't kill her, and then they fell in love, and we find out tonight, so this is, by the way, Season 7, Episode 6, called Reclamation, and the word reclamation is tied to basically the CR's terminology for basically, we want to make sure that our secret is safe and that nobody knows who we are, where we are, all that good stuff. So they're going to wipe out pretty much Al, and they want to wipe out Isabel, and I guess whoever else might know about the story, or their story. And it's just like, oh my god, this episode was just so atrocious. Everything from the choreography to the conversations to Althea's BS motives, which she just kind of kept going back and forth and back and forth. I swear to God, if she said it's complicated one more time, and she ended up saying it, and I didn't go apeshit like I said I would during the episode, but I wanted to. I was just like, no, it's really not, Al. It's not that complicated, you know? And this is angering us as viewers to have to watch this crap. I'm like, who is writing this stuff? I mean, it is complete amateur hour. Another thing my wife was calling out tonight is this amateur hour. And it was all throughout. I mean, did you see those choreographed scenes between Morgan and the CR Republic? I mean, listen, I mean, now I'm starting to wonder, in World Beyond, you know, I was thinking to myself, you know, how is Iris and this small crew of, you know, like these friends and whatever going to take down this major organization that's managed to wipe out one full city of 100,000 and another campus colony, whatever. I mean, how are they going to take them down? After seeing their actual soldiers in action, I have no doubt that Iris and her little young band of Goonie friends can take out the Civil Republic. I mean, these people are so inept. It's insane. The fact that Morgan was able to grab onto that gun, I mean, it was such a poorly choreographed scene, and maybe that's all that. And I know Lenny James, he's getting older, and Grace, I don't know her character, and, the actress in general, but I don't know if they just weren't able to work it out, but grabbing onto that weapon like that, and there was like a good, 5 or 6 seconds there, more than enough screen time for literally that other CR to just turn the weapon and fire and shoot Morgan. Now, of course, they wouldn't do that, right? It doesn't make. I mean, they're not going to kill Morgan off like that. But then don't show us that much time. The choreographed scenes need to be quick, like snips, like quick little action shit, especially if they're not fast enough to make it look like it's really going super fast. You got to do something, because you gave them way too much screen time to be able to turn that situation around. I mean, the CR had the upper hand at all points in time. They had the upper hand at all times. Guys, oh, this is so tragic. And I know, and I've said this before, and you're probably like, well, then, Mike, why are you watching this? Because I can't help myself. It's zombies. It's the show. I've been 7 seasons. I mean, what am I gonna just stop now? And I know you're probably thinking, well, yeah, just do it. I can't do it. It's not in me to stop. I have to see this through. I have to do it. But you're gonna hear my rant along the way, or you can just stop watching now. But if you are liking, like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that like button. I'm just telling you guys, I mean, I want so much for this show. I love zombie content because it's sad when all this stuff's going to kind of come to an end. But I'm going to be honest, if they're going to keep showing more of this kind of crap, you know what, maybe it's best they just go ahead and end it. You know, maybe they just end with season 7 and just finish it off and just see, you know, like a Western, let them ride off into the sunset or whatever, which they better not do with Rick in his movies or whatever. I don't know how they're going to play that out either, but time will tell. I just, you know, and at this point, I don't even know if Rick's going to come back to TWD, but I know, I'm getting off on a side rant. Tonight's episode was just, it was flawed by a lot of different things. Even the cinematography from, like, the locations. I mean, it seemed like one moment they were in orange haze, you know, nuclear zone, and then in the next moment, they managed to drive, 50 miles in one direction, and it's clear skies? Now, mind you, I don't know crap about thermonuclear war and all that fun stuff. I mean, I did watch War Games, but, you know, the nukes never went off, so I don't know much about it. But it just seems a little odd. And it also is annoying as hell to basically see them taking on and off their masks at all points in time. And they're kind of like what was that first scene with Al when she kind of like takes the meter and she kind of does it to the area and it's going click, 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 you know, not really showing us really what that means. And she kind of goes, kind of like, I'm good for now. And then she takes like another 100 steps or whatever, not even that. And then she puts her mask on. What is it, guys? Is it a threat? Is it not a threat? I mean, if it's not convincing to us, then there's no threat. Who gives a crap? It's just the landscape. That's all it really is, which looked cool at first, but it's just become more of a running joke at this point in time. I know. This is a painful rant, and I'm almost here at, 7.5, 8 minutes or whatever? I mean, is there much really else to tell in the story, except that Al met up with Morgan and them, which the beginning of the episode was even kind of confusing, too, because it's like she was looking for him, and then Morgan was looking for her, and then they kind of crossed over paths and didn't meet up with each other. Then they finally did, and then the CR showed up, and they're in a helicopter with the 2 people, and then they're chasing them down, yada, yada, yada. Ultimately, they want to know where Isabel is, which Althea clearly knows, but she's lying to Morgan the entire time. I'm like, and this is what your relationships come down to? Mind you, we get that stupid just story about her brother, and like, no, I have to, it's the camera, I got to go back to that. It's like, number one, that story was lame to begin with, and the fact that you even brought it back up, which, mind you, we finally get to say peace to the camera. She smashed it. She smashed it and chose Isabel, which was a smart choice. As I was saying to myself, man, you're an idiot. Like, you didn't go with her. You obviously loved her. You're not going to find this ever again in these short days of which you may not be alive for much longer anyways. At least enjoy loving someone. Now, I mean, true, it would suck if she dies. Then you got to go through all that heartache again. But something, you know? Not just give some BS. I mean, Isabel dropped everything. The whole CR, her position, her status, or whatever. And she helped Althea's friends just out of a whim. I mean, just like, I need you. And she's like, I'll be there. And she was. She helped him out of it. She helped him survive. And then Al could not return that favor. Ouch. I mean, just like, You know, and I just something about Althea's character just angers me every time I see her on screen. I don't know if it's just that she's the do it all, be all, I can work it out no matter what situation, and that shit gets old, guys. It gets old fast. I don't feel like there's any real threat with these characters. I mean, think about it, guys. When is the last time we saw a true major character death? I mean, think about that. The blast didn't kill anybody. It's insane. It has to have been 8 or more episodes, right? I'm probably missing somebody along the line, but I probably can't remember because it was probably uneventful and didn't care. No, I mean, honestly, the last one was Dakota, and she wasn't... Yeah, she was a major character, kinda, but not really. And then she was kind of a villain, but I don't really even barely count her, but I guess you could. So she's one. And then Teddy and that crew, but again, they were bad guys, so whatever. But think about our core crew. Nobody's been killed off. And it's just like, what are they doing? I mean, it's just is this show meant to just run on forever? Because I tell you, that I may not be on board for. I mean, what could possibly be their end game? I try to think about it at times. I really don't know where they're going. I have no idea where they're going at this point. After the nuclear fallout and this and that, they're clearly not going to cross over shows because TWD is on their final last year, which is going to start up in 2022, February. I mean, I don't think Morgan's ever going to see his friends again, more than likely, let alone Rick. I mean, Rick's off in La La Land, up somewhere up north, maybe northeast. We're thinking it's possible. He could be with the CR. It's hard to say. Hopefully he jacked them up something good, but it's hard to say, especially with seeing Jadis on the World Beyond. So if you want to know a little bit more about what's going on with World Beyond and the Civic Republic, make sure to check out my World Beyond review, which will be coming out probably early tomorrow morning. I probably won't get it out tonight, so it'll be too late. But yeah, there's some crazy things going on in World Beyond as well. So we'll see how these shows all kind of tie together. But I'm just telling you, this story tonight was just brutal watching this come to be. I could just care less about this story. I mean, and it's not even so much Al's story. It's kind of like everybody's story. I mean, how is it that Morgan just keeps popping up everywhere? I mean, sure, they're using the radios, and I guess that lasts for a while. But I know even in Nuclear Fallout, that even has like, it does like an EMP type related blast, I think, too, and knocks out electronics and things like that. So there's a lot of factors in here, guys, and maybe I'm being too overly critical. I mean, it's just a TV show after all, but again, all believability is just out the door as far as I'm concerned. And so I got to finally come down on a score on this, and I know, guys, I'm just so disgusted with it. Like, I'm giving it a 4. I mean, that's about as low as I've ranked an episode in any of the Walking Dead universe, even World Beyond. And mind you, that stuff was pretty tough to watch, but this tonight is just hitting an all new low for me, and just in storyline and just working everything out to make us believe like this stuff. And don't even talk about the Canon scene blowing up the CR and the chances, and yet the zombie crosses over and pulls it, but it just snaps off. But then when he realigns the fuse system, and then it goes off the next time. I'm just like, how random ass can you get? I mean, talking about some MacGyver BS trying to pull this Civil War canon to your benefit, to make sure that the Civic Republic 2 people would be lined up perfectly, and that they would move the vehicle, and then they wouldn't fire at Al in the front, and they'd shoot the... Why did they keep shooting the MRAP? These guys are idiots. Where did you train these fools? It is an armored vehicle. Only if you had armor-piercing bullets, which they clearly do not. Why are you even shooting the vehicle? You would be shooting the people. Yeah, absolutely. So, I give this episode a 4. It's 4, and that's just where I'm at. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a rant. I know it's kind of painful. It's painful for me to talk about it this way, but I'm just kind of like, I mean, what do we do now? You know? I mean, I know I said in the previous episode I'm just kind of along for the ride, but then I was like, oh, but you gave me this. This is what I have to endure along the way. So at this point, I just kind of want to see what happens to Victor's facility. In the next scenes, it shows something where something's, I think, going critically wrong, and Victor asks his little lackey dude, like, how long do we have? And there's some explosions and things happening. Morgan and Grace are outside the gates or whatever with little baby Mo and asking for his help, and just what does it all mean, guys? Tell me what you think. Tell me where you're at with this show. Are you with me on this, or am I just completely bonkers? I mean, please, am I being too harsh? Let me know. I know, maybe I'll tone it down, but I have a feeling I'm only going to tone it up if these episodes keep going at this rate. I mean, this is just awful. So anyways, with that said, I am Mike with the Z-Man Show. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy the episode. Make sure to check out my other content on my channel. And guys, check out The World Beyond. That'll be out again either in the late hours of tonight or maybe early hours on Monday morning. And until then, guys, take care, and I'll see you at the next review. See you.